there everybody, I am Husky Light. Thank you for stopping by. I thought I'd just do a quick Q&A really. Acknowledge some of the comments that you've left on my website. Thank you so much. I said last week I wasn't feeling too well. I stuck about half a ton of makeup on just to come on because I've got this eczema thing going on, which I will actually explain to you soon, because somebody left a comment for me helping me to understand what was going on at the moment. So I just thought I'd just do a quickie. I'm sort of spiritually exhausted at the moment. There is a lot going on astrologically. I haven't been feeling that good, so I'm sort of recovering. Excuse me, I'm recovering from that. But yeah, I wanted to come on and do something. So going into my comments and messages, and thank you so much for leaving them and letting me know how things are going, letting me know, you know, if my readings resonate with you, which for most of you they do. Most of you they're spot on, but I always say remember to check out your rising sign and your moon sign as well, to make sure that, you know, if that doesn't resonate with you for that month or for that week, it won't always, because it's a general reading. But yeah, so let's get into this. Big Dream at 11 on my 1111 angel message. I've had so many messages on about that because everybody is seeing them, and we all seem to go through stages of seeing them. I did the 1111 video, I stopped seeing them for a little bit, and then the past 2 days it's just gone crazy again, seeing them again. And I'll explain more about that in a minute. So Big Dream at 11. Oh my god, I am seeing 11 or 1111 everywhere, plus other numbers as well, you see. And you're seeing them all of the time. I believe that I'm going through a spiritual awakening at the same time as meeting my twin flame. Now, there is a very there is different kinds of awakenings that I've come to understand. A lot of people are awake, which means they know the, you know, the what the government's really doing. They know that the TV is programming. They know the lies behind politics, behind alien spacecraft, all of that sort of thing. You know about that, so you're awake and you're aware of it all, and you don't watch the TV and you don't listen to the news because you know it's all propaganda. And then there is another awakening, which is the kind that I had. And before that, I wasn't awake at all. I didn't know anything about politics, or I wasn't interested in ETs. I wasn't interested in, I was just totally asleep, really asleep. The other kind of awakening is the Kundalini awakening, where all of your chakras get opened very quickly. The snake rises from your root chakra all the way up to your crown and connects you to source that way. It's usually when you have a Kundalini awakening, not just when you're awake. It's when you have the actual Kundalini awakening that you realize that you've got a twin flame. So this is why we always say that not everybody has got a twin flame, and thank goodness, because I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy to go through a twin flame connection with anybody. It's awful. Sometimes it is really, really difficult, and it's not just difficult for me or for anyone else. It's obviously difficult for the other person as well, especially as usually in a twin flame connection, until you are together, while you are in runner chaser stage, so whatever stage you're in, one will be spiritual and one won't be. So it's very, very difficult to get through to the other twin. Spiritually, what you're going through, what you're feeling, how you know that it's them that's a twin flame, because they're just not aware of it at all. They're just totally oblivious to it all, and they'll get the odd feeling through, but it's beyond them. It goes straight over the head if you even try and explain it to them. So it is very, very difficult. Most of the time though, 1111, which a lot of us see, whether we are a twin flame or whether we're just awake, is amazing, because even if you're just awake, you are connected to source. You are in touch with your source. You are in touch with that is your higher self, your I am presence, your guides, your angels, who are able to look out for you, and they will send you the 1111 through as be aware, take note of everything that's going round. Sometimes I think with the 1111 it's a case of we have energetic waves coming through from the universe, which are very powerful, which we will pick up on. This will raise our consciousness, raise our vibration, and as we're rising up to a new level of consciousness, we will start seeing the numbers around. We'll start seeing the 1111 and the 555 and the 333 and all the rest of it around, to let us know that, you know, you're okay. Your guides and angels are in touch with you. You are moving through the ranks. You are getting higher. They are getting in touch and telling you how much they love you. And it's a really good feeling. But I think a lot of the time it's energetic waves that are coming through from the universe to help us with the awakening, to help us with ascension. When we see that the most, when there is a lot, and you know, it's pay attention more to what's going on around you, because there is a lot of planetary things happening. Maybe we've got certain planetary alignments going on at that time when you see them. So there's lots of different reasons, but I think the main thing, when people say to me, oh my God, I'm seeing 1111, what does this mean? Just be very thankful that you're seeing them. Just be happy and pleased to know that the angels have got your back. And that's pretty much what they're saying. We don't always have to know what specific numbers mean. It just means that they're around you, they're with you, they're looking after you, and you are a lot closer to them than people who aren't awake. So thanks for that, Big Dreamer. Now, I know that you've sent me also, your name's Liv, I know that you've sent me an email. I will be answering you soon. But just a quick word about emails. If I get any emails through that want to meet me on Skype or want to talk to me on Skype, I'm not usually able to do that, simply because my energies get too high and I manage to break Skype when I get on there. It will freeze, it'll stop working, it's not very good. And if I am talking to somebody who also, especially if they're going through the awakening process, they have a very high vibration as well, it really does mess things up, and it drains me as well afterwards. So Liv, depending on how I feel, I might get hold of you by Skype, but I will definitely email you back in the next few days, depending on how I feel, really, because I am quite, there's just been so much going on lately. It's just been draining in sort of emotional, physical, spiritual aspects, but that is the reason. Also, if any of you ever send me an email saying, oh, can you do a live Skype reading, again, excuse me, I cannot do that because my energies are just too high, and I'll just break Skype. I can't do it. I'm no good at it. Plus, if I say something during a reading that resonates with you and you start crying, or I will pick up on those energies, which will stall the reading. You may have to go and compose yourself. I'm going to have to clear the energies that I've absorbed from you. It's quite a strange thing, but you know, when I go out, when I go shopping, I'm always picking up energies, and I have to protect myself to a certain extent. So it's nothing ever personal. It's just not the way I work. It's just not the way I work at all. First, Juju Laspink. That's a really cool name. I think I did on my Pisces weekly reading to ask the angels to help you. And you have said, how do you ask the angels to help you? Exactly as I said in the reading, literally get a quiet minute to yourself and just ask out loud. and ask them something specific. Please, angels, I am having a problem with, I don't know, my boyfriend, my girlfriend, with money. Please, can you help me out with some answers? Help me out with some clarity on the situation, and ask them out loud. I invite you to come and help me. I really want you to come and help me, not in a desperate way, just, you know, ask, and they will come and help you. And at that point, once you've asked out loud, there are universal laws that apply to anybody, whether we're human, whether we're ET, whether we are guides, whether we are angels, ascended masters. There are universal laws that everybody has to abide by, and one of those universal laws is the fact that we have free will. So our guides and angels cannot just simply gate crash us, come flying through the front door and say, oh, you're in trouble, I'm here to help you. No, they cannot do that unless we invite them. Okay, so you literally just have to ask them out loud. And then once you've done that, quieten your mind, step back and start to look out for the answers that they bring to you. Angels and guides cannot tell you directly what the answer is, but they can guide you to the answer. They can give you a download of information, providing your head is clear enough to be able to receive those answers. So you might get an epiphany, one of those aha moments where you go, oh, I know the answer, I know what it is. It may be that they start showing you signs through the number plates, through songs. You might pick up part of a conversation that somehow gives you the answer to what you've been asking. You have to be very open. You have to totally believe and have faith in the universe as well, else it won't happen. Belief in your guides and angels, a belief in yourself as well, to a certain extent. And you need to be open for those answers to come through. You cannot deliberately go looking for the answers. They will appear when they're ready. Now, depending on your level of awakeness, it could take a couple of weeks for that answer to come through to you. It could take a week. It could be there within the hour. It will come through at different points in divine timing, depending on what level you are, awake you are. As an example, when I first woke up, when I was first going through the Kundalini awakening process, and I started having synchronicities, my synchronicities that I was going through were like a month apart. So I'd see something or do something, experience something, and then it would repeat itself like 4 weeks later. And I think, oh, I did that a few weeks ago when it comes up. And I'd see it in a reading, a tarot card reading or something. And I think, oh, hang on a minute, that's exactly like the situation I had 4 weeks ago. Now, as I went through the awakening process, it got less and less. It got like 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 1 week, until it got to a point where I was actually a couple of days ahead of everybody else. And all the synchronicities just completely lined up with each other and started happening within an hour. So if I asked my guides and angels, depending on how difficult the question is, I suppose, or how difficult I think the question is, what difficulty I put on it, as to how quick my guides and angels come back with the answer. Now, most of the time now, when I ask a question, it will happen immediately. Within the hour, I will see something or hear something and go, okay, thank you. Or within a couple of days. It's usually quite a short time. But you do have to, because of the universal laws that we all abide by, whether we are aware of them or not, we have to ask. We have to ask out loud. Okay? So hopefully that sort of helps with that one. Thank you for all of you that comment on my tarot cards and say, yeah, they were spot on and everything else. They are very accurate, but as I say, sometimes they won't resonate with you, and you check out your rising sign and your moon sign, because obviously it's the majority of you, but it's not every single one of you when we do them. It's the general energies of things. Again, Yvette Salcido, I've been seeing 11, but not sure what it means. It just means that you're waking up. It means you're in touch with your angels. You are becoming connected to source. You are becoming more aware of things going on around you. Don't push it. It is a process that you will go through, however quickly or slowly your soul permits you to go through it in divine timing. So don't push the process. Just be very thankful for it. Ask out loud for more confirmation that you're waking up again, and you'll go through it that way. It can take years for somebody to wake up. It can take just a few months for someone to wake up. It depends. But we are, as we ascend, as we go through these levels, we are waking up on a mass basis. Now, Dark Star, you helped me a lot, actually. You left a comment on my weekly angel cards for last week. I think not the ones I've just done, but the ones before, saying hi. I just wanted you to let you know that a lot of us in the Twin Flame community have been having symptoms of previous health issues that we thought were resolved. It's a purging. And you yourself, Dark Star, was sick last week as well, and I've heard it since as well. I think Patricia McNally on Twin Flames mentioned it, and it is, I mean, my skin condition, this eczema that I've got at the moment, is not something I've had since my early 20s. It's ridiculous. And it's a clearing, it's a purging. We might be clearing past fears from our psyche, from our soul. We might be clearing stuff from past lives, all the rest of it, clearing stuff on behalf of our twin flame, which is really annoying, but sometimes we have to clear on their behalf as well. And I've also, since reading your comment, Dark Star, information about we're having to get more back into the 3D at the moment. We're having to get a little bit more balanced to balance up the masculine and the feminine, and the masculine is coming back in, so we're getting a little bit more balanced. And I know that twin flame, the non-spiritual ones, are clearing stuff at the moment. I think they're clearing their divine feminine, from what I've been told. Now, for those of us that are spiritual, for those of us that are awake, for those of us who are twin flames, we become aware of what we're clearing. We become aware when we're going through something. For our counterpart, though, who isn't awake usually, they haven't got a clue. They haven't got a clue. They may get depressed, they may get sad, they might decide they're going to drink more than usual because something's annoying them. And they will be clearing in their own way, but they will not be aware of what they're doing. So believe me, they are clearing in their own way. Sometimes we help them to clear and purge. Sometimes there are things that come in that they have to do on their own. But because they're not the spiritual ones, they're the grounded 3D ones, they're not always aware of what they're doing. But they will go through phases where they're sad, depressed, getting annoyed about things, and they're clearing things in their own way. So please don't ever think that they're not doing anything. They are. It's just that they're not aware of it. They are not as well informed as us. They're not in touch with their guides and angels in the way that we are. I've got such a deep husky voice at the moment, I can tell. So Brianna Park, thank you. You've been sending healing energy to me. That's really good. And I am starting to feel a lot better. I'm starting to lose my voice now because of doing this, but I am starting to feel a lot better. It's the first day I've been able to get back on camera, because even last week, even if I'd have put three inches of makeup on, it still wouldn't have, there was no way. What else have we got here? Emma Paz, you've subscribed to me. You're a beautiful love soul, and I sobbed with you. I love your positivity and your divine genuineness. I would hug you. Oh, bless, I'd hug you back. That was on 1111 angel messages. I'm so glad everyone, or those that I know of, have started the Sunday meditation for peace and disclosure. Thank you. And it's thank you from everybody. Thank you from the whole collective consciousness back to you if you have started doing that. And like I say, I can't get on and do a live meditation with you or anything like that, but just know that if you are doing that every Sunday, if you are following that, you are one of millions around the world who are joining up collectively to do the meditation, and it is helping so much. We are so much closer to getting through everything and bringing peace around and disclosure. A lot closer than we think we are sometimes, because I know that there is still fear stuff that comes in that we need to clear. I know that I said it last week, while I was ill, I ended up watching YouTube videos, and it was the end of the world by the time I'd finished watching them. And you create and you attract more to you of what you're watching, so you have to be careful. And it's okay to do that, but realize when you're doing it, and then pull yourself back and say, right, stop it, let's go and watch some comedy, let's do something fun instead. And as long as you realize that you're doing that and you can pull yourself back from it, that's a really good thing. But you know, if you're not feeling well, if you're feeling a bit down, it's one of those things that you sort of get sucked back into things, which is quite difficult. Lady Leo, you've been seeing 1111 for over 6 years now. Wow. Do you know what? I am so glad that I know people that have been awake for years and years and years. I'm actually glad that I was not awake for years and years and years. I'm glad that it's been quite a recent thing for me, because one of my hugest lessons that I've had to learn has been patience. I have no patience whatsoever, and it's been a really hard lesson for me to learn and to get through, but I'm getting there. I'm learning it, as we all do. But I think if I'd have woken up years and years ago, I mean, I don't know, maybe that would have taught me patience years and years ago. But thinking about it, it just would have driven me up the wall. It would have driven me crackers. Now that I've sort of woken up and it's on a par with a lot of other people waking up, I can see that there is a reason. And God bless you, those of you who have been awake for years and years and years. Absolutely bless you, because it's been a long, hard slog for you. I know that you've been frustrated. I know that you've got angry. I know that you said, what's the bloody point in all of this? But now we're getting there. Now other people are joining you, other people are awakening, and we're getting there. We are getting there. We're getting there to that 51% tipping point when things are going to start to change. And we're now in the most important years of ascendance and things changing. So we are in the golden age. We have moved into the golden age. We have moved away from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius. The truth will come out. Things will become clear. New technologies will come out. Everything will come out in divine timing. But it's speeding up the more and more of us that wake up, which is simply why we're seeing all the chaos around us. The darker side of things, the elite, they have had a hold on us for so many centuries and kept us down as slaves and kept us asleep. They are now finding it very difficult to keep us down. Now we've moved into this new age, which started in 2012, the end of the Mayan calendar. So all the chaos that you see around us is just their way of, oh shit, everyone's waking up, quick, get them back to sleep again, do something. And that's literally what it is. They're panicking. They're trying to keep you asleep. They're trying to put out misinformation. They're trying to scare you. They're trying to fearmonger you. But it's a wasted effort. There are now too many of us waking up, and there will come a point, which I absolutely believe in, where it's just like they're done. They're absolutely done, and we are getting close. to that point now, so just hang on in there. I read one of my comments, I think, I can't remember who wrote it, but someone said, how do you wake somebody else up? And you know what, you can't. I actually don't think you can physically wake anybody else up. When we are awake, we see things in a different way than the ones who haven't woken up yet. Before I was awake, I just dealt with my left hand side of my brain. When we wake up, we start to use the right hand side of our brain. We have the pineal gland in the middle, your third eye, which starts to open. Your crown chakra starts to open, and your left and your right brain start to fuse together. They start to join together. They start to work together. Or you can even choose which side of the brain you want to use depending on what you're concentrating on. And we learn this skill as we wake up, as we're awakened. Whereas ones who are asleep, it's solely logic, it's left brain, it's maths, it's science, it's if I can't see, feel or touch it, whatever, it doesn't exist. Whereas we can see things from such a different point of view. We can see situations, we can see things, and we join the dots up with it. We can join it all up so we can see where things connect, whereas someone who isn't awake cannot see a connection between these things. But we can do that. We can see all the connections and how it joins up, how it makes up the story of life that is happening now. So you can't, I don't think there's, you know, you can try and talk someone into believing something or trying to get them to awake and say, look at this situation and look at this, what's happening here. Why can you not see the connection between them? And they simply cannot join it up. It's two separate issues to them. Whereas we can see it in a different light because we're using both sides of our brain. So you can't actually physically, you have to, it's divine timing again. Before we came here, before we were born, in our contracts, we decided what age we were going to wake up, how we were going to wake up, what we were going to contribute to this lifetime to help others awaken, what our role was here, whether we were to awaken or whether we were to stay asleep, whether we were to actively help in the awakening process or whether we are to be just an observer. All of this was decided before we were born, so there is nothing in this lifetime we can do to make somebody else wake up, which is really sad and it hurts, especially twin flames. If you want your twin flame to wake up, we have just got to wait. We have just got to wait for divine timing to happen, and it will, and they will wake up. But you cannot force them awake. It doesn't matter what you show them. They will think you're crazy. And even if you're not a twin flame, in normal circumstances, if you're trying to show your family or something to try and wake them up, they will just think you're daft. So it's not worth you putting your energy into trying to wake somebody up. It's not worth it. They will wake up in their own time if they are meant to wake up. Now, usually in the case of twin flames, of course, your twin flame is meant to wake up. Doesn't mean they wake up at the same time as you, though, unfortunately. And there's nothing you can do. You've just got to hold the faith, love them unconditionally, give them space. They will wake up in their own time. Hold that space in your heart for them. Okay? So, what else have we got here? Darlene Zimmerman, I said thank you to you the other day. She picked up that I was coming down with something last week when I'd done my readings. So awesome, thank you. Thank you for that, and thank you for sending healing. Cindy G, awesome message. That was my weekly power cards. The rejection, I thought I did a reading the week before last, my angel cards, saying that if you are feeling rejected, if you are feeling lonely, if you people are not listening to you, just know that you are protected and you're being looked after by your guides and angels. In other words, just what I've been speaking about now. You're awake, people around you are not awake. It doesn't matter, it's okay. You are the one that's awake. You are the one that's being protected, looked after by your guides and angels. And Cindy G said, the rejection, I thought instantly how Jesus was treated for being the Son of God, which is very true. For those of us who are awake and twin flames, etc., we have the Christ consciousness. And Jesus was rejected. Nobody believed him. They didn't think his powers were true. They didn't believe in him, and he was rejected. And again, that's how it works. So don't worry if people are not listening to you, if they think you're stupid, if they think you're crazy, if they have turned around to you and said you need some tablets, you need to go to the hospital. Don't let it get to you. Don't let it. Be very, very happy that you can see what's going on, that you are using both sides of your brain and adding the dots together, joining the dots together and seeing what's going on in the world, because it's an amazing, amazing gift and you are protected. So I've been through the meditation, I've been through 1111. Who says that? Mijana Zadravek. This is about a week ago. She said, you say that you've got news about a specific topic. If allowed, I'll share it in the support forum. Many of us know it already, but the moment I got informed of it, I got a strong feeling of having to share it with my fellow light workers, sending you love of light. Now, I did say to you, and I haven't seen it in the forum yet, but if somebody is in the forum, if you have got something to share, if your guides and angels have told you something, if you've got a strong feeling about something, please go and say something in the forum. Please share it, as long as it's not fear-mongering, as long as it's not end of world, whatever, end of days or something, as long as it is good, solid, helpful information that can help and help others on the forum understand things and link together and share that information, then that is brilliant. Please go and do that. That's really good. I won't have fear-mongering though. But anything else, absolutely. And continue to help each other on there as well. I don't get on as much as I want to. But as long as you're all linking together, which I've said before, that is the most important thing. Because one of you, just like Mijana has said, may have information that not everybody knows. And you could say that on the forum and everyone else goes, oh yeah, I heard something about that. Now it makes sense. You are helping. You are helping others to understand. You're linking together. So one of you could have heard some information. Some of you may not have done. Share it, honestly. That is the whole thing. It really is. Right, I am going to get off because I can feel my voice going. But thank you. There's, because I've not caught up with the questions for a while, there's loads of them. Somebody asked me a question about, and I can't see it on here, but I remember it, soulmates, and how would you know if you had a soulmate, or how could you tell? You will just know. If you meet somebody, you will intuitively just recognize them on a soul level. Usually soulmates have gone through every other lifetime with you in one capacity or another. And in every single lifetime, you are there for each other to help. Now they're going to come back with a different face. They could have been male in your last life, but they're female in this life. They could be friends, your daughter, family members, a cousin. But you will have that intuitive knowing that they're a soulmate. Soulmates don't always have to be your boyfriend or your girlfriend who you have a love connection with. They could be one of your family. It could be as I say, your son or your daughter, all sorts of different connections. It could be a boss, but there will be a deep down soul recognition. You will look them and maybe their eyes are familiar. Maybe something that they do, a mannerism that they've got is very familiar to you, and you get the deja vu feelings. That is how you know that they've spent a lifetime, a previous lifetime with you, and that they are there as a soulmate of some sort for you. And that's beautiful, absolutely beautiful when you can recognise that as well. So I don't know how long I've been talking for, but my voice is going now. 35 minutes. Blimey. Right, so I'm going to get off, but I just thought I'd come on and do this. It's a start as I start to regain a bit of strength in that. And namaste. Thank you to all my new subscribers. Thank you for subscribers that have always been with me. And I will speak to you soon. I hope this has helped. Questions below. I will get back in the habit of doing it. I just need to regain a bit more strength. I love you all. Bye bye.